Hello everybody and welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and as you can tell, I am getting over a cold. I picked it up last week when I was traveling back home, and I am just ready for it to be done. So bear with me this week as I may have to take a couple breaks for my voice. I've got my water over here to help, but I hope you are all feeling much better than I am and you have had a great kickoff to your week. Now let me just make sure that I am live here over on Facebook. I'm also live over on YouTube as well. So if you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody is joining me from each week. It looks like I am live over on Facebook and YouTube, so both places. So hello Carol, hi Maggie, thank you both for watching. Like I said, I apologize for the voice. It is just a side effect. I'm just really tired right now, but ready to take a long sleep tonight. I've been pumping myself full of cold medicine to help kick it in the butt really fast. Hello, Emily. I miss Tucson so much too, and definitely missing the warmer weather right now. All right, today I have 3 projects for you featuring the Snowy Wonder Bundle. This bundle is from the mini catalog and I really love it. I love it so much that I made it November's Club Craft and Create as well. So let's go ahead and swap the camera and I will go over some of the details for Club Craft and Create and just some other announcements, and then we'll jump right into our projects. So like I said, November Club Craft and Create. This is our last month for holiday cards. So after this class, after this month's class, November's, I will not be doing any more holiday cards for classes. Now, Makers Monday, I'll still be doing holiday cards, but no more specialty classes for Christmas. It'll be all over before December kicks off, before the hustle and bustle of the season. And so now is the time to start thinking about those holiday projects. So the Snowy Wonder Bundle, like I said, I'm using it today for my projects, but we're also going to use it for Club Craft and Create. Here is what the stamp set looks like. It is a set of 20 stamps, photopolymer, meaning they're completely see-through and clear. You can see exactly where you are stamping. And it does have coordinating dies and designer series paper to go along with that, which we're going to use today as well. Now, a kind of a sneak peek of the projects. I don't give you the full project photos ahead of time, but I'll show you a sneak peek. Now, in this class, you get to create 4 different designs, 2 each of those designs for a total of 8 projects. You receive all of your cardstock cut and die cut pieces. The only thing that's not cut is your designer series paper, and that's so that you can choose which pattern of paper you want to create for your projects. So you can either recreate my sample, or you can go off track and create them however you want, or you can do one and one of my sample and one of your own. You also receive a full roll of ribbon and a package of embellishments. So half a package of designer series paper, the embellishments, and the ribbon, as well as the cardstock pieces, envelopes, everything cut ready to go for these 4 projects. So if you're interested in learning more about Club Craft and Create, there is a link in the description of the video here today that has all the details of how to sign up and to register. The deadline for this is coming up November 8th. And yeah, if you have questions about Club Craft and Create, you can answer or ask them below. It does include a full color step-by-step PDF tutorial, as well as a video. Now, just a little note, if you signed up for October's Club Craft and Create, your items were already sent to you, but I have not recorded the video because I've sounded like this for a week. And so I'm ready for my voice, waiting for my voice to kind of come back to normal a little bit before I record the video. So just a heads up, if you got October's, that's why. It's because I'm waiting for my voice to kind of come back all the way from being sick. All right, also, this week is the last week to join the Stampin' Blondie team with the October Starter Kit special. So the starter kit is, normally it is $99 and you get to choose $125 worth of any products. But through the month of October, it is still $99, but you get to choose $155 worth of any product of your choice. This can be anything from the annual catalog, the mini catalog, or online exclusives. So anything that you would like, you can add to your starter kit. So if you're interested in Club Craft and Create, you can add the Snowy Wonder bundle to that kit. So you would join the Stampin' Blondie team. We have a amount of demonstrators from coast to coast, and I welcome everybody from those that are just wanting a discount on their supplies, which I call happy shoppers, to those that are looking to build their crafting empire to teach classes. There's no requirement to teach classes. You don't have to host any events, do Facebook videos. You can simply create for yourself and purchase items at a discount. So this is the last week for the starter kit special. October 31st is the last day to sign up for that. And if you have questions about being on the Stampin' Blondie team or what that involves, feel free to send me a message and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. All right. The last thing before we jump into our projects this week is Prize Patrol. Now, 2 weeks ago, I did, because I haven't been on for a while, we did Prize Patrol, and the prize for that week was Heartfelt Hellos. So if you're new to watching, thank you. All you have to do to enter into Prize Patrol is share this video and comment that you shared, and you'll be entered into the Prize Patrol drawing. So the winner for last time's Prize Patrol was Marsha Lynn. So congratulations, Marsha. Thank you for sharing my video. I think I have your address, but if you've moved in the last, like, say 2 years, feel free to send me a message with your address, or let me know that I have the correct address. But thank you for sharing my video. Now, this week's Prize Patrol is a package of the Core Colors Collection Stampin' Write markers. These are the same ink that are found in our ink pads, so you can color right on your stamps and stamp with these. And, oops, there are, how many markers are in here? I think it's 12. You get a bit of markers. So fun collections that were just debuted last year to our catalog. So these are the Prize Patrol for this week. All you have to do is share the video, comment that you shared, and you'll be entered into Prize Patrol. All right, now I already showed you what we're going to be working on with our stamp set today. Now, yesterday on my website, and also here on Facebook, I shared my first project for this week, and that was this really fun shadow box. Now, the dimensions for all of the paper can be found on that post from yesterday. So if you wanted to recreate this shadow box, you can. I did take the glass out of it just because it's easier to share with the lights. There's no glare. Normally there is glass in this shadow box, and I found this frame at Michael's. So you can always get a really good deal on their frames and shadow boxes. They normally have like coupons and stuff, so that's when I like to get my shadow boxes. So I used a combination of the stamps, dies, and designer series paper to create this really fun shadow box. Let me get a drink of water. There we go. And it's just a really fun project to put together. It didn't take that long. Once I had everything kind of cut out, it was really easy to put together. So this, like I said, all the dimensions on everything are found on my website, so you can check that out. And the 3 projects that we are going to create today are cards. I like to do kind of a more stepped up project on Sunday that'll take a little bit longer than what we have for Makers Monday. But we have this really fun card here. This one has 2 different mixtures of designer series paper. I am trying to get into mixing my designer series papers a little bit, and so we are going to work with that one. We have this card here. We're going to use some designer series paper again, and this really fun, look at this pom-pom ribbon. So that's from the mini catalog as well. And then this is my favorite card this week. I'm going to show you how to do this really fun kind of mosaic background with scraps of designer series paper. Super simple to create. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, don't forget, each week I offer these as a class to go. So if you're wanting to recreate these projects yourself, you can place an order on my website by Thursday midnight at nighttime, like you have the whole day Thursday. And $35, and I will send you the class kit to go. So this is what it includes. It does not have any stamped images. Because of Stampin' Up, we are not allowed to send stamped images through the mail for class kits. But you can add the Snowy Wonder to your order, or whatever products you'd like to be able to recreate this week's Makers Monday projects. Thank you. I hope I feel better soon. It's just all in my nose and my throat. That's it. My throat feels totally fine. It doesn't hurt at all. It's just I'm all stuffy, and then I've got the froggy voice. Okay, so we are going to start with this card here first. Let's move these off to the side. And for this project, we have a piece of shaded spruce cardstock. Now, I forgot to print it out this week, but I also have on my website, stampinblondie.com, each week I have a project PDF tutorial, so you can go on there and print it out, and it shows all of the item names, numbers of the products that I am using on our projects here tonight. So easy to follow along for that. Okay, we have our designer series paper. Like I said, this coordinates with the Snowy Wonder. So the dies will cut out these images as well. So we're gonna bring in, I'm gonna use liquid glue today just because hopefully it's working. Yep, there we go. Just because it's handy right here. And we're gonna add this holly berry piece to the background here. All right, now we have our smaller piece of designer series paper and Poppy Parade cardstock. I chose Poppy Parade because that is what is in our designer series paper. And we're just gonna add this piece right to the middle. So this is a great card. If you are a beginner crafter, this is a great card for you because it's very simple to put together. Just grab my dimensionals here. Very simple, and you don't need a lot of supplies to put this one together. Hello, Betty. I apologize for the voice. Hopefully this is not your first time watching. I don't normally sound like this. If you can tell, I'm pretty stuffy, but hopefully the drugs start to kick in soon. I haven't found, like, I've been taking Mucinex, and I found like that, I don't know, it's just not working for me. So I'm gonna see if maybe I have some NyQuil. I'll take the NyQuil before I go to sleep. That'll really help. Now, I wanted to create 3 cards. This stamp set has 3 different sentiments. Normally, I will tell you, I don't create New Year's cards. So I would not normally pick a New Year sentiment for this project, but because we're doing 3 cards, I wanted to use each of the sentiments to show you what they look like. So like I said, normally I would not have chosen a New Year's sentiment to go along with this card, but I wanted to show all of it here today. Okay, we are gonna do that in Tuxedo Black ink. So we got our ink there. Oh, I'm glad this is not the first time you're watching because, like I said, normally don't sound like this. But thank you. I hope I feel better soon too. It's been about a week, so yeah. My voice started to go last week before I started to not feel very good. And then I think it was Saturday. Yes, no, Friday that I started to get stuffy. So who knows? Okay, we've stamped our sentiment off towards the right side of that piece of Poppy Parade, and we're just going to adhere this to the upper part of our card here. And this is the Coordinating Designer Series paper that I was talking about. And it has all these really cute different snow globes. And so we are going to cut out one of these snow globes here. Let's see. I'm going to use, I want to make sure I'm not using one of my images from my other cards. So let's see. We're going to pick, we'll do this little guy right here. It's your mother-in-law's 99th birthday today. Happy birthday. 99. That is quite the feat. Congratulations to her. Happy birthday. Hopefully she had an amazing day. It was really nice outside here today. It's like unseasonably warm, they're saying, which I am totally fine with. I think I saw early next week or maybe later this week, like 71 degrees, which I was like, for fall, that's perfect. So, all right, we are just cutting out. So unfortunately there aren't, there's not a die to fit these little snow globes. There's another sheet of Designer Series paper that has bigger snow globes on it, and there is a die to go along with that one, but these little guys don't have any dies, but they're rounded edges, so very simple to cut out. And we're gonna add dimensionals to the back of that to get it to pop up. And we're gonna add that right where that right side of our sentiment, or the left side of our sentiment. Now to finish this, you may not remember these snowflake adhesives. They are an online exclusive item, but they were released last year. So they're still on the Stampin' Up! Website. They haven't sold out, but I really like them. They come in 3 different sizes and 3 different colors. So you have white, silver, and gold. Or sorry, white, gold, and bronze. And we're going to use the small gold snowflakes, and we're going to put one on either side of our snow globe here. Now, I did use some of these on the shadow box. I'll bring that back in here. You can see I used, that's the middle size, and then I added some of the smaller snowflakes here. So they're white, they're kind of hard to see, but I did embellish that with those. And then here is our first card today, featuring the Snowy Wonder Bundle. I hope you guys like this one. Like I said, very easy if you are a beginner crafter to be able to put this together. Simple layout to use. If you are looking for a good layout for mass cards for Christmas, I just swap out the Happy New Year, but you've got a really fun card there. So I hope you like that one. All right, our second card today, we are gonna work on this one right here. And so we are gonna create our really fun pattern background ourselves. So for this card, I'm using some kind of non-traditional holiday card colors. So we're gonna be using Pool Party as our card base. And you don't really think of Pool Party as a Christmas card color, but it's really cute when it's paired with this Designer Series paper. So we have 2 of those pieces. Here's the other side. It's kind of hard to see, but this is the piece here with that big snow globe that you can cut out with the dies. Now, these 2 strips, I'm just gonna cut a flag into the bottom of these to make it just not so square at the bottom. And a quick tip for that is if you take your scissors and just do a quick snip in the middle of your paper and then go from corner to corner, you will get perfect angles each time that are even on both sides. If you were to cut it, willy-nilly, your angles would be off on both sides because we cut differently. And so when you do that little slit up the middle, that's where you have your reference point to be able to cut. So just a quick little simple tip there. Okay, we're gonna move these off to the side along with our card base, and we're gonna create our own patterned background. So I'm gonna bring in my grid paper, and we're gonna use Pool Party ink. So grab that. And then the stamp set has 3 different snowflake sizes. So we're gonna use the largest snowflake here, and we're going to just stamp randomly around the back just so it's not so stark white and it has a little something in the background there. Let me roll up the sleeve so I don't get my paper moved around here. Sometimes you just got to get the sleeves out of the way when you stamp. I made a really delicious soup for dinner tonight, and I had to like fold my sleeves up just so that they were out of the way. But my husband was like, this soup is definitely a make again one. That's how good it was. Okay, so we've just randomly stamped our snowflakes in the background. You don't need a ton of them, just enough to kind of get that look on there. And then before we glue this down, we're going to stamp our sentiment, Let It Snow. And this is gonna be in our tuxedo black, and that'll be in the lower right corner. So I'm just gonna stamp that right there. And now we can add this to our card base. Get our grid paper out of the way and use our glue here. Like I said, I'm just using liquid glue because it was within reach. So that's why I chose that. What kind of soup was it? It was, I used ground Italian sausage, and I don't know how to pronounce the type of noodle, but they're short little tubes, and it starts with a D. So it was little teeny like pasta tubes, and then it had garlic, and it called for onions, but I didn't have any onions, so I omitted that. Garlic, pasta, a can of diced tomatoes. I used the basil and oregano and garlic diced tomatoes. Cream, I used light cream. And then, what else was it? Cream cheese and Parmesan cheese. All the cheese. Give me all the cheese. It was so good. Super simple to make too. And you could like beef it up with some, just some extra vegetables or whatever you wanted to. But it was delicious and definitely a make again. It was so easy too. Okay, so I've got my 2 strips of designer series paper down here, and now we're just gonna choose 2 of the snow globes and cut them out and add them here. So I'm just gonna use these 2 because they're the closest to my edge of the paper. So, yeah, I found that recipe on just scrolling through Facebook. And, sometimes those things that you don't even follow, I guess they're ads, the ads pop up, and it was a recipe. I had screenshot it, and I was like, I'm not feeling the greatest, so I want some soup for dinner, and just was like, this one sounds delicious. So I went and got the ingredients for it. Of course, like I said, I forgot the onion. That's okay. It was fine without the onion. And I had everything else but the sausage and the pasta. But it was so good. Yeah. And like, there's enough for tomorrow, so I can have some more tomorrow. I just love soup. I could literally eat soup every day. When I lived in Tucson, there's a big scrapbook group there, and I really miss them all, of course. But they would do themed events, and my favorite event that they did, it was called Soup Night, and everybody would bring a different type of soup, and you would get styrofoam cups, and then the most smartest thing that somebody thought of is that you take a muffin tin and you put your soup cups in that, and then you can carry all of your soups with you, and it was perfect, and you could taste all these different soups, and of course, have fun crafting with each other. But that was my favorite event that I went to when I was there. Okay, we've got our 2 little snow globes cut out, and I'm gonna add Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of these. Just 2, you only need 2, you don't need a lot. And we're going to start with the circle one first and put that there, and then we're gonna offset the other one here. And then, like I mentioned earlier, this is that really fun pom-pom ribbon. Excuse me. This is Pull Party, and it's super easy to tie. I was a little nervous when I got it because I was afraid that these little pom-poms would kind of make it hard to tie. Sorry if you guys can hear that. It's my heat kicking on. But the pom-poms are not that hard to tie, so it makes it really easy. And then you can kind of zhuzh it how you want it. And I always cut my ribbon at an angle just so it doesn't fray. And there you have a fun little pom-pom ribbon. Now I haven't done it yet, but I would think that you could take your Stampin' Blends and you could color the ribbon to kind of match whatever project you're working on. I've done that in the past with some white ribbon, but because this is a lighter colored ribbon, it would still work. But I'm gonna add it on with a mini glue dot right to the corner there. And I'm not putting any snowflakes on this one. I felt like it didn't need any other kind of embellishments, but there is our second project today featuring the Snowy Wonder stamp set. I really like this one. That pom-pom ribbon is just so cute. Stampin' Up! Hasn't had anything like that I remember. So I really liked that pom-pom ribbon there. I'm gonna have to try it out, coloring it with Stampin' Blends to see how that would go. But I hope you guys like this project. Very fun and festive, of course, with the Let It Snow. And non-traditional Christmas colors for that project. All right, our last card here. I'm gonna show you how to do this really fun layout, which is perfect if you have a lot of scraps to get rid of. So for this card, we are doing a Poppy Parade card base. So we've got our Poppy Parade, and we're gonna fold that in half, use our bone folder to kind of crisp up our line here. And we're gonna set that off to the side because we won't need that for a bit. I also pre-die cut a piece of basic white cardstock. This is with the, what is it called? I always forget. Spotlight on Nature's dies. So I've got that off to the side. We're gonna stamp our sentiment on there, but first we're gonna work on our background. I also have a piece of Petal Pink. I keep calling it Blushing Bride. This is Petal Pink cardstock, and we're gonna set that off to the side as well. Now for this project, what I like to do is I have the Stampin' Up! Silicone mat, And I like to use that because we're gonna be doing some gluing and we may get glue on our workspace. So we just wanna make sure that the silicone mat, it's really easy to clean off with a baby wipe, and then you don't have to worry about anything sticking to your card base. Okay, again, I'm gonna roll up the sleeves for this one because we got some glue involved. So a piece of basic white cardstock, and then I have these strips of just the designer series paper. So I have 2 different designs, and I have 5 pieces of, I think they're 1/2 inch and I think like 6. It doesn't matter how long it is, but it's 1/2 inch wide. And then I have one really long strip as well, still 1/2 inch as well. Now the really long one is because it's gonna go corner to corner first. And we're gonna glue this one down, and this is gonna be our guide for the rest of our designs here. So corner to corner, there we go. Now you can see from here, we have some of our papers are going this way, some of them are going diagonal, the opposite way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on one side first, and I'm gonna start on mine going up and down that way. So I'm gonna start with one of my candy cane ones. And we're gonna add glue to the back here. And this is gonna go right there. I think I'm gonna move this a little over because I think I added too much glue to the whole thing and I don't want it to stick to my table. Okay, now that's gonna be our base to work off of. And we're gonna take our next strip, and instead of adding glue to the back, now we can just add little strips of glue to our paper. So now we're not wasting glue, and we're gonna use those leftover strips there too. And we're just now gonna go back and forth with these strips of cardstock. This is really good for a massive amount of Christmas cards that we send out. You have all these little scraps of pattern paper that you may not know what to do with come the end of all of your other crafting. And so you're like, I don't want to throw all this paper away. What can I do with it? This is a perfect layout for that. So you just alternate these little strips, and then right here in the corner, there as well. The little corner pieces are kind of the hardest ones. So we're gonna add our strips here. And you may start to run out, and that's when you're gonna have to trim and then work with what you have. So hopefully we can get pretty close, and then we'll trim and keep going. There we go. And they just all line up against each other. So it doesn't matter what color this background paper is. You could even use a completely different color cardstock than what your coordinates with your project. It doesn't matter because you won't see it. So now we're gonna trim. See, we still have some room here, so we need these strips. You could cut more, but because I'm trying to use up all these little strips of paper, I want to utilize them as much as I can, and then if I have to, I'll cut more. So we're just going to trim the edges flush. Don't throw those away because you're going to want to reuse these on the other side now. So I should have used my longer scissors because then I could have cut this a little bit better, but if you only have small scissors, this will work too. Okay, so now we've got this first half. Just need to fill in that little area right there. So we need, let's find a small one. You don't want to use one of your longer ones right away. Oh, this should work. Nope, that's the wrong pattern. Now this, will this work? Nope, still the wrong pattern. So we'll use this little guy right here. Add our glue. And then if you have, like, this is super tiny at the end here where there's no, you can see there's that itty bitty little, I'm just gonna leave that. There's no way a piece of paper would stick in that little corner there. So we're just gonna leave that white and you won't even notice it. Now, if you used a different color paper, you may have to fill that in, but that's okay. It's super tiny. You won't see that on mine. All right, now we have our long piece here, and we're gonna find our long piece of this one, and it's gonna go right across here. So just like the opposite side, I'm gonna add my strip of glue. Adding the strip to the base cardstock is so much easier than adding it to the strip because, like I said, you don't get glue everywhere. Okay, where's our next longer piece? There we go. And in total here, I've cut, like I said, 5 and 5 1/2-inch strips. And you could use more designs if you wanted to use like 3 different designs or every strip is different. You could do that too. But I just wanted to show you with 2. But they really have to have that kind of contrast to them so that you can see where one section goes one way and the other section goes the other. So we're just gonna lay that there. And then our last bit, here's a smaller piece. We'll use that one. So unless it's like that super tiny one that I showed you, you definitely want to try to cover as much as you can. And then we're just going to trim this up. And then you have a really fun background pattern that uses up scraps that we all have lying around and we're like, this is so tiny, what am I going to do with it? You can create this really fun and simple background with it. So that is how you do that. So let's clean all this up here, get all these little pieces out. Now on my silicone sheet, one side is sticky, so it'll stay to my crafting desk. But when they come, they're not sticky. So the paper will just come right off of it. Okay, we're gonna add this now to our petal pink card base, or our cardstock piece. And then that's gonna go on our card base with dimensionals. So we're gonna add a little dimension to that. So like I said, you could do this with so many different, like if you have a ton of different patterns of these little scraps, perfect layout for that. So you can use them up and then you don't feel bad about throwing it away. Oh, that peeled the sticky right off of that one. That's weird. All right, come on. These are being finicky. Come on, there we go. And, excuse me. That will go right onto our card base. Now, I didn't want anything too big for my sentiment piece because I really wanted to showcase this fun design that we just created. So I just have this simple die cut piece and we're gonna stamp the sentiment using Poppy Parade ink and the Season's Greetings. Now I chose Poppy Parade and Petal Pink because I pulled those colors from my designer series paper. So whatever scraps you have, you can just pull colors from that for your card base and the layer. So we've got our sentiment, and this is gonna go on with dimensionals as well if these ones cooperate. There we go. And like I said, didn't want to cover that up too much, so it's just gonna go here so you can still see that really beautiful background. And we're gonna cut 2 penguins from this designer series paper. Now, this penguin that does not have the hat on, there is a die to go with that one. But unfortunately, the one with the hat does not have a die. So we're just going to hand cut them out. They're very simple to hand cut. Rounded edges, make it really easy. But if you have the dies, you can die cut these little guys out. So I'm gonna cut that one out, and we'll just use him because he's right on the edge too. Here we go. And these little guys, I love them. I'm normally not like a penguin person, but when I saw this stamp set, I actually wanted to use this for a class back in, let's see, the catalog debuted in August. So as a demonstrator, I saw it in July. So in July, when I saw the catalog, I immediately was like, okay, this is going to be one of my Club Craft and Create months because it's so cute. The little penguin, and then the snowman. I like he has a hat that you can put on him. You can do the house with some trees. It's very festive, and I like this kind of festive stuff. And I mean, everybody would love a card with these little guys on it. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can still make winter cards with this. You can make any type of like end of year card to give to somebody. It doesn't just have to be Christmas. That's what I like about it. It's an all kind of winter stamp set. So just cutting him out. There we go. It reminds you of a quilt. Yes, that's what I really like about it. It's really pretty and it reminds me of a quilt. Okay, the guy that doesn't have any hat or anything on, we're going to put him on to our card with liquid glue. And yes, the penguins make me smile too. I really like the penguins. Winter birthday. I have a winter birthday. Somebody should make me a card with this and send it to me. And then our second little penguin guy, he's going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. What is up with this? It's like it's peeling off the second layer. I don't know. Maybe these are older dimensionals or something. Okay, now, because there's some blue, the pool party from around the penguins, I'm going to use that pool party ribbon because it's just so cute. I love this, that I wanted to use this on this project too. So we're going to tie this into a bow. Gonna push those little pom-poms through. Here we go. You do have to kind of work it a little to get it to loop through, but it's very easy. Like I said, I thought the little pom-poms would get caught, but they're quite easy to work through that loop. This is going to go on with dimensional. Or no, not a dimensional, a mini glue dot. And again, I didn't add any of those snowflakes because I didn't want to take too much away from that lovely background that we made. So there is our last project today, featuring the Snowy Wonder stamp set, coordinating dies, and coordinating designer series paper. Now, while I didn't use any of the dies during Makers Monday today, I did show you that the designer series paper can be used with the dies, or you can hand cut it out as well. Oh, Emily, you should have told me when I lived there that I could have showed you how to tie bows. I'll show you next week during Makers Monday as well. Okay, I'm gonna bring in all three of our projects here today. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite this week. We have our quilted little penguins. Oh, let's bring it down so you can see them all. Our quilted penguins, our Let It Snow, and our Happy New Year snowman. So let me know which one in the comments do you like the most today. And I love this one, but the little penguins get me every time. So I can't really decide which one is my favorite this week. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. And once again, I apologize for the voice. Hopefully next week I'll be much better and no more froggy voice. I hope everybody has a wonderful Halloween this week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for another week of live step-by-step crafting for Makers Monday. Until then,